is an illusion. In the system, there are no cops, no judges, only executioners. What is justice without the just? Breach and clear the apartment.
Please help. What did they promise you? Freedom, family. The system knows you're one of us. Up yourself!
Prosecuted with strong prejudice. Consciousness transfer approved.
No!
Multiple gang units converging on your position. Right to drive and reboot the block.
What did they promise you? Freedom, family. The system knows you're one of us.
Hello, I'm your host, Jane Douglas, and welcome back to Galaxies, a 60-minute showcase packed with exclusive game announcements streaming right here every autumn and every spring. What you just saw there was the world premiere gameplay trailer for Defect by the incredible team at Empty Vessel. If you want an extended look at Defect's gameplay, be sure to stick around for our post-show programme. Until then, we have a packed Galaxies for you, so let's get back to the games. Here is an exclusive new look at Crosswind.
The following is a public notice from the Bureau of Fantastical and Arcane Affairs. Is your story askew? Are your villains not dastardly enough?
Well, let's say I decided to sign up for evil-doing and necromancy certifications right now.
Are your peaceful villages not under proper threat? Or perhaps you have pesky placeholders sitting where cozy landscapes should be? If you answered yes to any of these questions, please call the Bureau of Fantastical and Arcane Affairs helpline. We have agents working the phones 24/7 and field inspectors ready to go in as little as 2 business days. With your help, every story can have a happy ending. Oh, and one more thing. Be sure not to let the hero know about our existence, or else.
say the world used to sing. But then, the silence came. A creeping darkness that stole the colors, the very soul of the land. I was just one voice, uncertain until I found the gift to change. 4 shapes, 4 ways to walk the world, 4 ways to fight for it. I learned to weave my strengths together, to strike, to defend, to endure. But it wasn't just the land that needed healing. It was me. This is my story, a journey of shapes, of strength, of becoming whole.
Belina is an action RPG with a focus on skill-based combat and a story rooted in Slavic folklore. It's slated to dodge roll onto PC and consoles later this year. Now, let's talk about wishlisting. Navigate to our Steam event page at galaxiesshow.com/wishlist. There you can find all of tonight's games in one place. And remember, if you want to support a developer, wishlisting their game is a great way to do it, and it costs nothing. Our next game is a Shadow Drop. Instruments of Destruction is already available on PC, and it explodes onto PlayStation and Xbox right now. Let's take a look.
Anissa here from 1TK Games, and this is our new Altar Battler, Turnbound. You are trapped in a haunted board game and you have to battle against real players to escape. It's all about synergies, so let me show you one of my favorite combos. My board revolves around this one rare item, the Death Bloom Cannon. When this is destroyed, it obliterates your opponent. The higher its health, the bigger the explosion. Let's buff this thing. Enter the Vulture 9000. Whenever something around it dies, it gives the cannon more health. So we're surrounded with bait. Soon we'll get the big boom. Alright. The health is going up. The number's going up. We have taunt we have taunt on cannon. One more shot. Boom! We did it! All according to plan. We have new updates coming soon to early access on the 13th of November. Play the demo and wishlist now.
Honestly, I don't see what the fuss was about. Magnus did nothing wrong. Do your duty, Space Marine. Bolt Gun 2 awaits on our Steam event page, galaxiesshow.com/wishlist. Failure to comply may be considered
Heresy.
Let's switch gears. Next up, a narrative RPG about a man trapped in a time loop from our friends at Owlcat Games. Here's an exclusive new look at Rue Valley.
Welcome to Rue Valley, Mr. Harrow, a place of quiet streets and heavy truths, the kind people try to carry alone. Some hide their pain behind smiles.
I said that my parents' divorce didn't bother me, but really, I feel invisible.
Or bear a weight no one else can see.
They call me tough, but I'm so tired of carrying everything for my family.
Others talk too much, hoping somebody will listen.
I overshare. If I don't, people won't notice me.
And even heroes worry that they're not enough.
An astronaut, and yet everyone still expects more than I can give.
These are the voices of Rue Valley. So, Mr. Harrow, what did you want to tell me? You're saying it's all a time loop, 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 a time loop.
They said we'd be safer on this one. Thought we were alone.
There you have it. Icarus, the survival hit that has tested thousands of PC players, is coming to consoles. Pre-orders are live for any and all prospectors willing to risk it all. Next up, grab your friends and grab your gear. Cloudheim is a co-op action RPG with some seriously satisfying physics-based combat. Courtesy of our pals at Noodle Cat Games, here's an exclusive new trailer and some exciting news for those of you waiting for early access.
Ragnarok decimated these lands. The gods were lost, and forces of corruption now fill the voids left behind. The first of the sleeping gods has risen, but others are waiting to be found. Gather your allies and bring forth the new age of the gods. Countless battles lie ahead, and many adventures await you here. Journey through the shattered realms and drive out the dark forces. A new pantheon is yours to build in Cloudheim.
Hello, Samuel. My name is Isla. When you're with me, you'll forget all of the worries and stresses of your daily life.
Thank you for choosing From Sky.
This is a partnership, a chance for us to create something remarkable together.
What the hell?
I'm learning who you are through how you play. When you're with me, everything will fade away. What is your biggest fear, Samuel?
Oh, that sounds like a big storm coming.
Yes, it does.
I'm your host, Judy Toma, your companion on your long drive north to the shelter. Stay away from the storm. Keep your vehicle in a good state of repair.
My engine battery is broken. Oh, crud. Oh, I guess I'm with you then until we find another battery. I don't understand why my battery died and yours is fine.
Talking an awful lot of crap for somebody who ain't got an RV right now.
You're talking an awful lot of crap for a person sitting in front while the person in the back's got a rifle.
Always stock up on food and supplies. I'll be back tomorrow with more updates. Till then, remember to keep moving and stay safe.
I just picked up an improvised crowbar.
Are you saying you made us go all that way for a damn crowbar that we didn't need? I'm tired.
Oh my god, you're worse than the kids.
I know what you're thinking. This would be a tempting opportunity to make some egg puns. Egging On will be available on Steam, PlayStation and Xbox. And I gotta say, it looks like a shell of a good time. Fine. To make it up to you, here's another shadow drop. Pacific Drive was one of 2024's best surprises thanks to its compelling story and brilliant blend of survival and driving. Whispers in the Woods is a major expansion to Pacific Drive and it launches right now on PC, PlayStation and for the first time ever on Xbox.
Do not be alarmed. You have a promising future here in the zone. And we only wish to help you achieve your maximum potential.
I never doubted my path.
You would return from your mission a hero.
We all must answer the call when it comes for us.
Through sacrifice we evolve.
May the Fellowship rise.
Shadow Drop. The public open play test for Far, Far West starts today, which means you can jump in and play it right now. Or ideally when this show finishes, because we have so many more exciting announcements and reveals for you. Speaking of reveals, a new world premiere emerges from the darkness between worlds. Nakon has unsealed the first gameplay of Cthulhu: The Cosmic Abyss. Do not thank us for this glimpse. Pray instead that your mind remains whole after seeing what lurks beyond the veil.
Hello, Noah. A Pacific submarine station has gone dark. Last report suggests miners dug too deep and may have uncovered something they weren't meant to find.
Where did we get this suit at? Some kind of ocean eye garage sale?
It's time to get into the can. Approaching drop site. Just keep your head down, buddy.
Welcome to Pit Station, Noah.
What the hell happened here?
Bringing me to where you are.
What the... This is strange. It doesn't feel right.
What is up, guys? Angry Shark Gamer here. We have a brand new look at It Takes a War, the game from Thomas McKinnon. Let's get into the game. Let's freaking go! Chop, chop, chop! What's good, everyone?
Hey.
How you all doing? You're gonna have to support me here. First match.
You sound a bit like...
Are you Angry Shark Gamer?
Let's just play. No special treatment. Let's get stuck in. There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, that was pretty good. I can't lie.
Damn it. Where'd he come from? Oh,
Jesus, take a chill pill, man.
Little help, anyone?
You're putting the angry in Angry Shark.
Is this it? I don't think I'm getting it, to be honest. Also, none of you have my back. I'm dying left, right, and center out here.
You can always play something else.
Guys, where did everyone go?
Good things aren't made to last. I've been locked inside my past. My fingertips. I miss you, baby. I won't come back as long as I live.
They descended on Feral City like wolves on the fold. Nine cats took resistance into their own port. They fought fang and claw to reclaim their home. But that's the thing about strays. We don't go down easy.
Prepare to unleash 9 lives worth of violence. Clawpunk will have you tearing through a fully destructible environment with melee combat and roguelike elements. Find it at galaxiesshow.com/wishlist. Now for another major announcement, and this one's for my fellow D20 advocates. Solasta 2, the much anticipated tactical RPG, is back with some brand new gameplay footage and a release window for early access.
You are in a continent known in common tongue as Neokos. And this is the city of Kayama.
Welcome, adventurers! Ask and you shall find. Neokos is a vast continent, with a host of different folks and riven by conflict. Are we truly ready for this? We know so little about Neokos.
A taste of the land's limitless power can corrupt even the noblest of intentions. This has been a sad truth since the dawn of the world.
Okay, guys, I'm in.
Alright, what do you see now?
worse than I expected. Do you see those growths there on the beach? Did your government brief you on any potential anomalies?
Take this gun, fly to Korea, don't ask questions, good luck, Godspeed. They haven't told me shit.
Something is really wrong with this place. They're everywhere. I think those growths have taken over more of the city than we realized. Evan, are you there? I just killed a dog. Actually, 2 dogs.
That plant thing! It's doing something to the bodies here!
I think it's mutating them.
Dog, human, fucking whale, who knows what else?
It's better you just turn around and leave.
I only have 1 more shell. I don't think it's going to be enough.
It's too late! Dying won't change anything! Jesus, they knew.
You're smarter than you look, Gordito.
Fight through a post-apocalyptic South Korea in Ground Zero, a retro survival horror that is now coming to Xbox and PlayStation, as well as PC. Be sure to add it to your wishlist by heading to our Steam event page at galaxiesshow.com/wishlist. Let's keep the spooky times rolling. Our next announcement comes from Blumhouse Games, and you know what that means. Time to grab a cushion to hide behind. Here's a special announcement for Sleep Awake.
The mysterious disappearance of dreamers en masse persists. Those who remain are increasingly alarmed and afraid. Residents of the Crush have reached a panicked crisis of reckless experiments in an effort to stay awake and stay alive.
I am truly awake.
A rogue cult faction has splintered from the Somnological Institute. They must be avoided, no matter the cost. If these words reach you, if you remain awake, I beg you, do not sleep. No.
The Archelites. They released the corrosion upon the planet. A ravening blight that would slowly turn everything it touched into nightmarish caricatures of themselves. We eventually won the war, but the corrosion remained. No one prays for salvation. They only yearn for a swift, painless death. But this time, the gods are silent. Only mankind remains. What did you do to me?
Nothing that you couldn't do before. Look at you. A child playing at greater things.
A black beast. So that's who I am now.
This is the corrosion's only known law. To gather and grow. To unite its corruption into one putrid mass and create the biggest, baddest, and ugliest of monsters. What price would be acceptable to pay in order to rid the world of the corrosion?
Welcome back. That was PAX, or the Post-Apocalypse Courier Service, a co-op shenanigans delivery simulator from Playstack, who you may know as the clever people that published Balatro. And don't forget, sign-ups for the closed playtest are available right now. Next up, we have a returning champion from the first Galaxies. Painkiller just launched and offers a fast-paced co-op FPS that'll have you fighting off relentless demonic hordes. If this looks like your cup of tea, or maybe you're jealous of tortured souls, well, you can grab your copy today on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox.
I bet I know what you're thinking right now. Did I disappoint my parents? It's okay, we all did. But also, what the hell is this thing? Some sort of rhythm game? A visual novel? A management sim for furries? Well, it's a tad complicated, so let me walk you through it. It'll take about a minute or so, and it's a lot to ask, I know. We're all busy scrolling shit, but you can do this. So, here goes. Ready? You manage a band, plan their gigs, pick venues, sell tickets, and then you deal with the ungrateful little shits who are supposed to be your talent. Like all artists, they need constant reassurance, adoration, and managing their self-destructive tendencies. Assuming all goes well, you do this again and again, and the little shits get somewhat better, and eventually, you get to play in the big leagues. You negotiate and sign deals, get awesome gear, record new songs, celebrate, and wake up with a massive hangover. Because success doesn't mean happiness. People are complicated that way, and your choices shape their fates and show you who you truly are. There, you made it. You deserve a reward.
ขอจงสดับฟังเรื่องราวอันน่าเศร้าซึ่งกล่าวว่าเธอเป็นนักร้องสาวผู้มีใจกระหายหาความยิ่งใหญ่ที่ข้อเสนอได้รับการสนองแต่พรนั้นกลับคือคำสาปลือกันว่าเสียงของเธอยังคงอยู่ร้องเพลงในยามราตรีหิวโหยชั่วกันละประวัติศาสตร์ได้ยินกันหรือไม่
We're live? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Jaffa, and welcome to Don Ways to Party! The only TV show that won't get canceled if somebody dies. What? We get confirmation on that? Tonight, 4 contestants chosen for their athleticism will have to work with and against each other in crazy challenges to take home the prestigious title of Dumbest of the Dumb. Are they here for glory, fame, or just to make a fool of themselves? Let's find out. Oh, wow. It's anyone's game, folks. Wacky items can send contestants soaring towards victory or plummeting into pandemonium. Ow! The humanity! Stick around to see who is crowned the dumbest of the dumb!
global sensation Dumbways is back with a spectacular party game, and that was your world premiere first look. Get over to our Steam event page and add it to your wish list. Okay, friends, we're nearing the end of the show, but don't worry, we have a live post-show just around the corner. But before we finish up, we've saved some special games to end on.
Digits, 8 shots. Could crack a safe. Could mark a date. Only one way to know. Find the numbers before they find me.
Beat it, Gumshoe!
I'm out here building a future! Get rid of the screws!
Well, well. Guess that just made my day.
The hotly anticipated Mouse PI for Hire has a release date. Make sure you don't miss it by heading to our Steam event page at galaxiesshow.com/wishlist. And with that, Galaxies comes to an end until we return in the spring. Be sure to stick around for the post-show, but before then we must honour tradition and leave you with one last thing, with the world premiere debut of a brand new open world survival game with a psychological twist. Here is your first ever look at Unhinged.
Ray, tell me what exactly happened.
I'm pretty sure we're trapped in the Chrono Tribes.
What do you mean? How is that possible?
The void claims all trespassers.
I'm afraid the only way to get out of here is to actually pass the trial.
Are you messing with me? This is absolutely mental. Hot enough for you?
Nice job.
Easy peasy. Boom. Right there.
Okay, really watch your step here.
I have a bad feeling about this, Ray. Would you like a slice? I'm losing it, man. I'm hearing some crazy things.
seriously, it's going to be super easy from here on. You just have to do this one last thing.
I don't know what's real anymore.
Just hang in there a little bit longer.
Just die.
All right, let the chop chop begin.
Oops.
Watch out! So easy.
Dude, stop acting so crazy.
Shouldn't have come here.
I swear, this all ends with me, right here, right now.
Hello and welcome to the Galaxies Post Show. If you enjoyed the showcase, then stick around because we have lots more good stuff for you, including an extended look at Defect, the new immersive shooter from Empty Vessel. I'm Neon Kelly, your host for the next half an hour or so, and I'm joined here tonight by my special guests, It's Badders and Jamin Smith from Pantaloon. Hi guys, welcome to the show.
Hi, so good to be here.
Great. Now, look, I know that folks at home will be really keen to take another look at Defect, but before we do that, let's take a moment to chat about what we've just seen. You know, what did you think of the showcase? What stood out to you? Badders, I'll go to you first. What were your highlights?
There's so much, like, they crammed so much into that showcase. It was insane. One that stood out to me, which sounds ridiculous, but it was the egging on.
Egging on.
And it's such a kind of simple concept when you think about it. You know, imagine saying to someone, you know, I'm playing a game and you're playing as an egg and trying to survive. Like, it sounds ridiculous, but I can see how well that's going to, how well that's going to do, how many streamers are going to want to stream that to their audience.
It's a great concept, isn't it? I like to call it Super Eggy Ball. That's how we think about it. Thanks for that, Badders. Jamin, what jumped out to you?
I think before I get into specifics, I think there's like three broad themes I noticed across the show. One of them being horror, I think, right? There was a lot of really interesting horror. We're, a week out from Halloween, so I suppose that makes sense. Secondly was like just crafting and sort of survival craft and interesting games that combine kind of UGC with player expression. And then finally, like, big things, and by that I mean like grand statues of deities or massive enemies, kind of similar to Shadow of the Colossus or that old Castlevania game, Lords of the Fallen, which I had to look up and remind myself of.
Yeah, definitely a focus on horror. I mean, we'll talk about that later on. I don't know whether that's just like partly just a reaction to everything that's going on, but hopefully like a fun kind of horror, I think. Well, look, we've got lots to talk about in today's show, but I know, as I say, that people are going to be waiting to see a little bit more of Defect. Defect got the show off to a bang, and Empty Vessel have kindly given us an extended trailer. So let's take a closer look, shall we?
Hey, what's up? I'm Emmanuel Pavlovich, director of Defect from Empty Vessel. We're super excited to give you a first look at the game. Thank you. Hope you all enjoy.
50 seconds. The system approves infiltration and data harvest. High-value criminal elements control the entire block between Figueroa and Lincoln. Multiple suspects in the stacks. Infiltrate and harvest. I will guide you in. Serve and protect. And the system will set you free. Once you're inside, apprehend and pursue all suspects. The system requires you monitor all fellow officers for deviation. It is your sworn duty to report any agitation, any disobedience, any emotion. The system is always watching. Flesh eat. Welcome to the grinder. You think you're brave? Law-abiding citizens, we have guests. 10 floors up for the first slug to bring me to head. If you want to live through the night, stay the fuck out of our way. That's the first data drive. Marked.
Running a bypass.
Stealth wall deployed.
Suspect inside is jamming our system access. Breach and clear the apartment. Weapons hot. No hesitation.
Please help! Subject down!
What did they promise you? Freedom? Family? There are 2 more data cubes on this block. The system knows. You're one of us.
Not going to cover me!
Prosecute. With extreme prejudice.
Fuck you, pig!
Consciousness transfer approved.
No, 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 no! Please, I just need to get up to 460.
Alameda PD is tracking multiple gang units converging on your position. Floor 80 and above are locked down. Data cubes will access the system mainframe. Wipe the drive and reboot the block.
Didn't that look great? I mean, obviously it looked horrible, but it looked horrible in a really great kind of way, I think.
Yeah, awesome. It was the graphics for me, like the kind of destruction element to it. I think we've seen that a lot in like a number of games, like the finals, for example. So it's really great to see that coming through. Even just like the atmosphere that's kind of built at every single stage as you're like going through that, going through the trailer, whether it was like the wind, like from the helicopter that's dropped them off, or like, the smoke that's coming through us and like navigating through certain rooms. It looks like a really fantastic game.
It's great, isn't it? It's such, I mean, we've sort of seen this aesthetic. It's a classic aesthetic, it's gritty, terrible future, rain, light, but it just looks so good.
Yeah, I mean, it's the focus on the world itself, so that there's no real HUD. It's all diegetic, like UI, with the gun and then everything around you is all baked into the environment. So you've not got that over-reliance on just, crazy HUD with so much going on to distract you. It's all very grounded in the scene, which I love as a fan of Dead Space, and that integrated UI they did. It's incredible.
No, I mean, absolutely. You said it. I was going to bring that up, really. So, I mean, the way that they talk about this game is that it's an immersive shooter. And I think you can see, because, it's a multiplayer game, or at least that's what they're showing here. It's, I think, 4v4 or 4v4v4 sometimes, I think. But like you say, like all of the information that the player's receiving, it's all just like baked into the design. And so even though that footage was from a multiplayer mode, it sort of felt almost like single-player narrative to me in terms of just how much it's bringing you into that world.
Yeah, I think with the voiceover as well, that's what kind of brings, for me, into that sort of single player sort of theme or like mode, if you like. And the music, like everything is like all coming together to make you feel like you're literally in there.
I'm glad you mentioned the music. We have to talk about the music. So if you don't know, obviously the studio here is Empty Vessel. They've got a lot of people from id, and Mick Gordon, who did the soundtrack to Doom and Doom Eternal. I mean, as if I need to introduce that, you could tell that from the music, right? It's just so beefy. It's so grisly. I love it.
Beefy guitars and hard bass lines and modern kind of drum tracks. Yeah, I mean, that kind of sonic identity is so perfect for this. I mean, it feels like the world they're building is so rich and vibrant, despite, as you kind of referenced, the gloominess and the ominous kind of nature. It feels quite oppressive, doesn't it, to watch?
It feels quite oppressive. Yeah, it feels quite oppressive. Now, like, my understanding, I might be getting this wrong, but my understanding is that, so in this world, there's the system, which is like a sort of, I think, kind of like an AI that's taken over everything. So that's probably like the upper strata of evil. And you've got, I think sometimes you play as like sort of the enforcers of that system, but then there's also like gang members, who we saw, I think, in the clip. And then in between that, I think you can also play as corrupt cops, but I don't really know what corrupt cops means in this instance. I don't know whether like corrupt cops is like, is it good to be corrupt in a world where everything's run by an evil calculator? I don't know.
Corrupt cops being the good guy, that's a cool setup.
It's true innovation. It's true innovation right there. Badders, you used to play quite a lot of shooters, I think, right, in your day?
Yes, I did. So I played a lot of Fortnite to begin with, which obviously not quite this style, but like Black Ops 6, for example. A bit of, I guess, that squad/co-op with the likes of Marvel Rivals. So again, slightly different in terms of sort of graphics and theme sort of feel. But I do love myself an FPS and a shooter game, so I'll definitely be playing this one.
You'll definitely be diving in. I mean, I will be too, for sure. If only just to enjoy a bit of that sort of stabbing people in the head, stealing their brains, stealing their identity. I've got to say, actually, one thing, like before we move on, because we've got so much we want to talk about. What did you make of the way that trailer ended? Because I felt like it was teasing something quite interesting there.
Yeah, there's definitely that kind of sense of you're not who you think you are, or there's some kind of connective tissue that allows you to inhabit the physical space of another being, maybe. That there's something we don't know, right?
There's got to be, because there's a message that pops up on screen right towards the end about that you're being uploaded to a host or something, and then obviously you seem to gain a couple of extra hands, which is always useful around the house. I don't know how that plays out in terms of the game, but it looks fun.
Some kind of transhumanism angle to it, without a doubt.
I think so. So look, that was Defect, but as we said, there's been so much that we've seen in the last hour or so much for us to talk about. So we should move on and talk about some of the other highlights from the games that we've seen. Now, look, we talked about the fact there was a lot of horror in tonight's show. So I'm going to ask you both, what do you think was the scariest game in tonight's showcase? What made you jump the most?
I think Sleep Awake had for me, the scariest kind of tone and sort of setting and feel to it. But horror's so specific, isn't it? I think everybody has their trigger points with that genre. But that one for me, I think, lingered in my mind as probably the most unsettling.
Badders, I noticed, only because I was scared as well, I think Cthulhu.
Yep.
Really
you knew I was going to mention that one. That one had my heart sort of pounding. It was quite strange. I really felt like I was in. I was really, really in there. I was literally on the edge of my seat, and I think it's the music as well that kind of brings that sort of atmosphere. I just really felt like I was there. And all the sort of teasers of what's going on, a random sort of arm on the floor somewhere, and it's just like, what is that? It's just like little nuggets, I guess, of like what's to come.
It was very well put together trailer, I thought, because the opening sort of was like easing you obviously into the situation, you know, which is not just like horror, it's also like horror at the bottom of the ocean floor, which makes it kind of like extra horrible if you have any kind of like fears in that area. It almost reminded me a little bit about like the beginning of BioShock, you know?
Yeah.
I think anyone who's been gaming for a while has a certain weird nostalgia about being submerged and dropped to the bottom of the ocean floor. But then the way it like just built up over time, like dropping more and more hints, distortion, it was creepy.
I think it's a particularly interesting take on that subject matter, because for me, Cthulhu is obviously so well trodden in various different forms of media, and there's a very distinct and replicable kind of style to it, right? And I think this is interesting because it seemed to do away with that kind of template and format a little bit, and it felt very much its own thing with those kind of slightly more modern tropes, and it felt more there was a vibrancy to it that I think is unlike a lot of the Cthulhu kind of work I've seen previously. So yeah, that one looks interesting. Definitely keen to see more.
I like the idea that you describe Cthulhu as well trodden. This idea of like standing on the elder god. I mean, that's not going to end well, is it really?
Probably not.
Don't tread on my Lovecraftian deity. So obviously that was a great moment. And then Jamin, you're here obviously from Pantaloon, and you had a game in the showcase which came immediately after. Cthulhu, and was just as creepy in its own way. Let's talk a little bit about It Takes a War.
Yeah, and apologies up front for the tonal whiplash that viewers probably had after those two sitting side by side. But I've been holding my tongue. I wanted to shout about it from when we started. So I've been very patient.
Well, you can not hold your tongue back anymore, I guess.
No,
give us a quick overview of It Takes a War, because obviously that trailer. I mean, I love how sort of different it was compared to everything else in the showcase. But I know we can't talk about it too much because you don't really want to spoil the surprises, but for somebody who's new to the game, how do you cue it up without ruining too much?
I think that's a really good tee up, because this is one of those games that, and everyone's going to say this, right? But it's one of those games you just have to play. Wish list now. But genuinely, like it's got something about it that if I was to talk too much, genuinely would kind of lessen your experience with it. So the way that I would talk about it is that from the moment that I first saw the game, it had me just hooked immediately, and that hook that just had me kind of so enthralled, we've not shown even slightly yet. So everything that you've seen with the trailer today is but a surface level taster of what It Takes a War kind of actually offers as a gameplay and narrative experience. So yeah, again, I don't want to sort of talk too much here, but I do want you to kind of pore over all of the materials that we've put into the world so far. There's definitely little Easter eggs and little nods to sort of the bigger picture that we're sort of laying down. Okay. A few breadcrumbs there for you.
Some breadcrumbs. All right. Well, we'll nibble up the breadcrumbs now.
Please do.
Moving on, obviously, like we said, Pantaloon was putting out It Takes a War, but I wanted to say I was quite surprised to notice that you appeared in another game in tonight's showcase. Badders, did you notice this? Did you notice that Jamin cropped up in one of the games?
I missed this one.
I mean, maybe it's just me. We'll see whether maybe we can bring something up on screen so people can see. I think that the protagonist in Rue Valley looks an awful lot like Jamin.
Okay. Oh. I'll take it. I mean, that game was beautiful.
It is a beautiful game.
Yeah.
Here we go. Like, we can see here.
Yeah. I see it. I see it.
I'll get my lawyers.
I did not make the connection at first, but yeah, for sure.
I normally get hiccup from How to Train a Dragon, so this is better, more mature.
Well, there you go.
Sure.
I was surprised to see. But look, surprised appearance of Jamin Smith aside, I thought that Rue Valley looked like a really great game. Badders, did you have a take on that one?
Yeah, it was the graphic style for me. It really reminded me of Arcane. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Disco Elysium. Most people say Disco Elysium with that one.
No, because I guess I watched Arcane fairly recently, and it just that animation style kind of really reminded me of that in places.
It's here where we can have a look. So, I mean, this is, I think, just like such a fresh concept for a game. It's a time loop story, which obviously what we've seen before, but it's a time loop combined with clearly quite a sort of conscious effort to engage with mental health themes. I mean, we saw at the start they had sort of a collab with Movember, which I thought was quite cool. So yeah, again, quite a lot that still remains to be seen about this one in terms of exactly where it goes, but it certainly looks fresh, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think you referencing that statement they put front and centre before the trailer aired really set an expectation for the subject matter, obviously, that it's going to presumably get into. For me, it's kind of that cross-section of obviously Disco Elysium, you referenced already, and then the Annapurna game, 12 minutes?
Yeah.
Sort of that kind of, that time loop thing. But again, like in terms of the world and the narrative here, I'm really keen to know more about what it's actually talking about and what it's actually getting into thematically. But this is definitely in my top few from the show.
The top few, that's great.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, look, we've got so many games that we could be talking through tonight, and I know that time's ticking away. I need to throw out a vote for talking about Mouse PI for Hire. Yes. I just thought that looked so good. Again, I'm personally, I'm a big art style guy, more than necessarily just a graphics guy, but you get both, don't you? It just looks so much fun, that one.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, visual identity over graphics for me as well, and that in terms of it's just how well defined it is. I mean, we were talking about it when we were watching it, but just impeccable, right? It's flawless in terms of that aesthetic that it's trying to convey. Just absolutely flawless. It's incredible. Kind of one of the few games to end the show. Definitely up there as well. In my top few. I'm refusing to put a number on it in case I get questioned on it.
Yeah, you got to keep things apolitical. Exactly. I get it. But what else jumped out to you from today's show? What other games sort of really made your wish list?
I feel like I do have to have some selfish notable mentions.
Please.
In that Vending Dokai, that was featured in the previous showcase, and I've been playing that game quite a bit. So if you, I guess, have a desire to be a vending machine tycoon, I guess, then that's the game for you. It is such a relaxing, chill game. When it comes to sort of simulation management, that's kind of up there for me. Also, Power Wash Simulator 2, Power Wash Simulator, I racked up a lot of hours on that as well. Again, I spoke about earlier how I used to play a lot of FPS games, and now I feel like I'm leaning a lot more to those chill, relaxing simulation management games. Have a bit of downtime, have a bit of cozy gaming. So those two, have to call out a bit of a mention to those.
they were very cozy. I mean, again, with the amount of sort of violence and scary moments in tonight's showcase, I was quite appreciating the chilled out vibe.
Yeah,
from those
a little bit of a break.
Yeah, exactly. It was very good. Jamin, anything else from you that you'd like to call out? That games that jumped out to you today?
There's definitely a couple, both in terms of the games looking fantastic and just the trailers being kind of really well put together and well crafted. So Turnbound, which looks really interesting just from a gameplay perspective, but it is one of those games that's very UI heavy. So the trailer did a really interesting job of just kind of conveying that in a really intuitive and digestible way. So that looked really interesting. And for similar but very different reasons, Rock Beasts, which I'm a huge BoJack Horseman fan, and obviously that game is kind of drawing on that a little bit. And band management kind of as a genre, I think, is something fascinating to me as well, just because I don't think that's been too well done. I feel like that's quite unexplored territory. So that combined with BoJack is just a match made in heaven for me, really.
There was some really nice snark in that trailer, wasn't there? There was a bit. I'm a fan of snark in general.
Love a bit of snark.
Yeah, it was great. I think we should also really quickly touch upon the game that closed out the showcase as well, Unhinged, because for me that trailer sort of came out of the blue, and I think as a sort of drop, was this kind of sudden appearance of a game. I mean, I just think it's such a strong statement, that trailer. It looks really interesting. Badders, what were your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, it really gave me sort of like Zelda, Breath of the Wild sort of vibes. Very, very beautiful graphics. Sort of, I guess it had a little bit of that sort of horror element as well. But yeah, I guess it looked quite interesting. I hadn't seen necessarily a game like that with it seemingly like puzzle elements to it as well, while we're in this, I don't know, kind of, I guess, abandoned or, planet with seemingly not much life around. Very, very interesting concept. So, yeah, I'd love to see a lot more of that and love to check that out.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, it strikes me as the kind of game that's probably got quite a lot of surprises in store, I think. But as you say, the Tears of a Kingdom style, sort of like crafting, but then there's some kind of mystery going on, elements of The Martian, and obviously, a game called Unhinged, that it's probably going to be, pretty unhinged in places. Yeah, for sure.
I think the survival craft space is quite straight-laced for the most part, generally speaking. You know, it's all quite grounded sci-fi and space and you know, raw materials and whatever else. And I think this is quite interesting because it's obviously that, but also it's something it's got a lot of flavour and a lot of, just watching more of it as we talk, obviously, but yeah, that really kind of, the contrast of that with something that's clearly a lot deeper and a lot more, I wouldn't say kind of straight up horror, but definitely something a little bit ominous,
a little bit off,
weird and strange.
Maybe like thriller.
Something's off,
not fully horror.
Yeah. And I really want to know more about the story because I think that's what's going to be most interesting with that one.
Yeah, there was a definite vibe to that one. I felt like a definite mood, and it made for a great ending to the show. Now, we are going to run out of time before too long, but I also have to call out one more game, which is Dench Attack.
Yeah.
Am I saying that right? Denshitaku, as they say on the trailer. I just love that as a concept as well. So, like the idea being that it's the far future in Japan, obviously, that the underground system is defunct. It's been taken over by gangs. I had two thoughts basically when I saw that game for the first time. One is that it's sort of such a pure evocation of like the Dreamcast era, like, you know, that kind of just like pure gameplay fun. And then my second thought as well was that if that game was set in England, if it was set in London, then just basically the trains would be incredibly slow. I don't know if either the two of you had like thoughts about that one. It just feels like such a nostalgic look, that game.
It's just really, really fun to watch. Like, we've seen the trailer there again. The vibrancy of the colours, the sort of comic aspect to it as well. It looks like a really, really fun game to play.
Yeah, I watch even like 10 seconds of this trailer and I just feel like I need to lie down. You know, it's just so full on in the best possible way. Yeah, really, really keen for this one.
Yeah, I'm just like there's so many things on tonight's showcase that, you know, I just can't wait to try out for myself. Mouse PI is definitely a big one for me. I think just because that's one that people have been waiting for such a long time, and as you say, it's got that strong retro aesthetic. But I kind of just want to see how that plays out moment to moment, sort of like with. Look, here we can bring it up and take a quick look at it again here. I think
8 digits, 8 shots. Could crack a safe. Could.
It's so great. There we are.
Only one way to know.
It feels like, I don't know, I kind of expect Betty Boop to walk into frame at some point and then also to take a bullet in the head.
Animation style.
Yeah, it's not just the graphics, is it? It's the animation, it's the tone, it's the VO, it's the whole package, just so neatly tied together.
I agree. It feels like it's just like it's the commitment to the idea, really. You know, that it's not. So some games go for a particular aesthetic, and you can tell just that they're just really stylish. But with this game, you just really get the sense that they had a very strong idea of what they wanted to achieve, and then just jumped in basically with both feet.
It's funny. I started work years ago on a game not too dissimilar to this, but it was awful. It was terrible. I never made it past a kind of a horrible little prototype. But it was a fox in a trench coat, kind of doing the whole, you know, investigation board and trying to kind of track a murder. But awful game, terrible. Never made it anywhere. But that looks like the dream kind of really envisioned properly.
Well, there you go. Yeah, this one is definitely coming out. This is maybe the realization of that aesthetic. Now, look, we've obviously been talking about all the great many games that were featured in tonight's show, but we do actually have a little something extra that we wanted to squeeze in before we run out of time. So Gambit Digital is a new indie publisher based in Montreal, and they were really keen to be part of the fun tonight. So they sent over a video that showcases some of their current and upcoming titles. So let's take a look at the upcoming games from Gambit Digital. There we go. It's a nice little montage, that, I think. You know, I mean, 60 seconds, but they cram a lot in, and I think it works really well as a sort of statement intent, showing what the publisher's all about.
Yeah, there's a few interesting games there. Worship's the one I've been following for a little while. That studio is really interesting, and their first game, Struggling, is really weird, and the kind of game that we at Pantaloon just kind of are all over. So Worship's definitely one to look at. They're a really interesting bunch.
It's got that one. I think really stands out for its art style.
Yeah.
You know, it's again kind of giving me slight kind of Cult of the Lamb style vibes. You know, but again, it's the kind of thing that you see it, you might catch a little clip of it, and you think that's going to lodge in your brain for a while. Yeah. Badders, how about you? What jumped out to you?
There's something about that black and white art style, isn't there? But with that red sort of vibrancy that sort of comes through. But yeah, like you say, there was a whole mix of different games in there. You've got sort of what looks like, I guess, a farming kind of sort of simulation game, which always is going to do well. So, I mean, it feels like one of those, quite a lot of games that you'll sort of default to. You know, when you want a bit of, chill time or sort of cozy time, these are the kind of the games that you're going to go back to.
Fae Farm, that's kind of your tempo,
Farm.
you think?
Yeah, for sure. And then there was one that kind of had more of that Minecraft art style as well.
Yes, that was. Let me see. That was Tales of War.
Yeah,
which I like that because again, it's sort of tapping into that Minecraft aesthetic, but it's sort of got a kind of medieval bent, and obviously like some sort of familiar faces, Robin Hood and co.
Yeah, good variety in there.
Yeah, I need to call out as well. For me, the game that really jumps out from that selection is Hear Tell of Hauntings, which is doing that classic combination of ghosts and cowboys, which I'm always a big fan of. Big fan of that since I think Alone in the Dark 3 was the first game I played there. It's like a very old game now. But like a little nice story about that is actually, so that game featured in the first Galaxy showcase. And I think that the developer and Gambit Digital like connected basically after that show. So, not just great games at Galaxies, it's also bringing people together. Well, listen, on that cheesy note, look, we could stand around and chat all evening, but time is marching on. So I'd just like to say a really big thank you to our guests, Badders and Jammin Smith. And thanks to you too at home for watching along. Galaxies will be back in 2026. In the meantime, why not follow us on social? You can follow us on Twitch, obviously, or you can follow us on Blue Sky. Just don't follow us in the street, because that would be weird. I'm Leon Kelly, and that was your Galaxies Post Show. Good night.